What? What is this?
Pathetic. She's so fast, she's so gross, she will never find love. Pathetic. The only one who can love this woman is the good Lord up above, proud and pathetic. She will never change, she will always stay the same. Pathetic and insane. Pathetic. Really scary, he don't care it.
Damn, I'm jet lagged.
Pathetic.
Hello again, little gherkins. Well, Pig Mad Peggy is keeping us on our toes today. She uploaded a scripted rage about the upcoming Mr. Snowflake series, which is weird in itself. But more importantly, I don't understand why she puts out videos like this, because all it's going to do is make all of us pull up her own words to prove her wrong. So, let's get into it.
So, today I woke up and chose violence. This video is going to be me addressing these dumb documentaries made about me.
Oh, she's bothered. What's wrong, Chantal? Afraid your new audience will be able to find out all of the horrible things about you that you've tried to hide so far? Well, the good news is they will have all of the evidence in one nicely put together package for them.
Well, they're not just about me. There are a lot made about other creators as well. I'm doing this because there's a channel that, just like the rest, picks on content creators they see as failures, I guess, and it's usually either Amberlynn or I.
We heard Chantal say in her last live that Mr. Snowflake was looking for clout by covering her. But it's interesting that she is projecting her feelings about herself and Amberlynn onto him. I've never seen him say he covers people he considers to be failures. I was under the impression that he covers people that he finds interesting, or at least their online story and following.
I find it weird that a grown man chooses to obsess over the lives of the two same women, basically beating a dead horse, but whatever.
He's never made a video about you before. How is he obsessing over you when this is his first introduction into you at all? He also just made his series about Amberlynn recently. His documentaries up until this point have had nothing to do with either of you.
Speaking of beating dead horses, figuratively, not literally of course, this new quote-unquote docu-series being made about me will not, by the way, spoiler, will not contain anything new that you haven't heard a million times before.
Actually, I can already tell you that's not true. He released a series teaser not long after Chantal uploaded this video with an audio clip of Chantal's own words that I've never heard before about her relationship with her family, including her father and half-brothers, as well as something terrible that happened to her at school. I almost never watch these documentaries because they are usually a very broad recap of her time on YouTube, but Mr. Snowflake is likely going to dig further than most others have, and I'll be seated, baby.
Also from these few other overly dramatic, embellished bullcrap documentaries, such as Canadian Horror Story, for example.
I guarantee Chantal has Toad McKinley's Canadian Horror Story fully memorized because she's watched it and seethed so many times. You're not fooling anyone, Chantal. We know you've watched every second of every video put out about you.
First off, a documentary is supposed to be educational. There's nothing educational about me.
Actually, I beg to differ. You may be one of the dumbest people on the planet, but I've learned a lot about how evil a person can be by watching you.
About these videos because you were only able to make conclusions based on limited information about my life. What is educational about me eating and telling stories from my past, for example? My life is really not that interesting, nor is my content to warrant 3 hours of an in-depth character study that these creators fabricate.
Okay, so first of all, there is no rule that documentaries have to be educational. They are usually informative, but that's not the same thing. Almost every documentary about you is completed using your own videos and your own words. Based on other documentaries done by Mr. Snowflake, I am willing to bet his will be no different. That's not a fabrication, no matter how much you want to deny your past. Maybe you should be thankful that so many people have taken an interest in your life, considering it has allowed you to live comfortably for almost a decade without actually having to get a real job.
Not only that, they try to analyze me from what seems to be a psychological approach or, about my eating disorder or other matters when they're not even qualified to do that. Being some edgelord living in your parents' basement reading Kiwi Farms all day does not make you a credible source of information. You are not doctors, you are not therapists, and you are certainly not experts on my life.
How do you know any of their backgrounds? You'd be surprised what kind of degrees some of us have, Chantal. But either way, most of your content has either revolved around food, your eating disorder, your mental illness, or your toxic relationships. It's kind of hard to avoid those conversations.
So each of these dumb documentaries starts off with some dramatic cinematic intro. Imagine, like, how am I that interesting? Anyway, I guess I'm flattered.
What does your level of intrigue have to do with their editing abilities?
So the music is super annoying because it sets the tone of sadness, hopelessness, drama, regret. Again, speculating that we as the subjects feel that way about our lives. Maybe some do, that's their problem. I don't. And
That's because you're a broken human with the inability to feel shame or empathy. If you can really look back on the last 10 years of your life, the way we've seen it, and not feel any sadness, regret, or shame, that says a lot more about you than it does about anybody making a documentary on you. But it's weird that you're even commenting on the tone of any person putting together a documentary when you just mocked and giggled your way through a true crime story yesterday.
here's why. And here's why I don't care if people cancel me, unsub, make 4-hour documentaries about me. It's because I know I'm human. I know I'm flawed. Show me one person with a perfect life or past, and I'll shut up.
I don't think a single person in this community has claimed they are perfect or haven't done things in their life they regret. But I doubt they have gone on drunken, racist, xenophobic, transphobic rants, or attempted to starve their pet to death so they could justify putting it down, or left an animal to die alone in a filthy room, or gave a false alibi to a convict accused of rape. Or, should I go on? You might want to reconsider videos like these, Chantal, because it's about to get worse.
Just one. God made obstacles for us as tests. Life is personal and each individual has their own tailored path. So unless, and this is key, unless you are living in that person's shoes or life path, you really cannot say what you would do or how you would react to certain situations.
I'm going to stop you right there. I don't have to walk in your busted-ass Skechers to know that I wouldn't neglect my cat, to the point that they had their claws grow into the pads of their feet, or to go online and proclaim that a woman deserved to be abused because a man picked her over me. Again, should I go on?
Because you are not living it. You will always be looking from the outside in, and that gives you a very limited view. Trust me.
You streamed for 10 hours per day for literally years straight. Sweetheart, we had a full view of every minute of your day, and even your coochie at times. You're upset because people reacted negatively to what you voluntarily put on the internet.
Second, I have not done anything so terrible as to warrant that much criticism.
Hold on to your asses, gherkins. I'm about to pull some receipts. Remember how you claim BBJ's nails were overgrown just in the time you were in Kuwait? Let's remind everyone that you were told by a vet in March of 2022 that BBJ needed to have her nails trimmed at least every month and a half, and her blood work checked again in 3 to 4 months. This was the last time BBJ ever saw a vet while in your care, almost a full year before BBJ was rehomed, meaning for at least 9 months prior to going to Kuwait, BBJ never once had a follow-up for her blood work, nor did she get her nails trimmed.
Well, her weight, the doctor would like her to... I said that since she's had her, nails done and her checkup, she's actually, put a bit of weight on. Her nails were growing. Sam's nails are fine. But BBJ, will not let me cut her nails, and she's, stresses too much, and her nails grow quicker, and, she doesn't scratch as much as Sam, so, her nails were growing quicker, and they were, starting to grow under. So I felt really bad about that, but since her paws got taken care of and everything, she's been eating better, and so I scheduled another appointment in a month and a half, and she has to get her nails done again there. They want to see her again, and then I'm gonna repeat the blood work in 3 months or so. I mean, I don't think I'll be taking them twice. Sorry, let's just be real. Unless they're really sick. Sorry, BBJ. I didn't even take my grandma to the doctor twice a year when she was geriatric. Baby girl. Look at all of the fresh food you are still whining for. Excuse me. was I saying? I'm skipping. Why would I want to hear that? Dee stole your man. I'm grateful. Don't you get it? Oh, come on.
No mercy.
She's like 100.
I got it.
I think I had too much veneer in my life.
Well, you have been having it a lot lately.
Did you hear?
No mercy.
Hashtag justice for VVJ! Oh my god.
Knew she was a criminal. I knew it. I can tell. I know a criminal when I see one. Charlie Cole, stop playing the race card. Charlie Cole, you'll be going right back to the slammer where you belong. And another mugshot will be circulating. Seriously, you don't want to fuck.
Red flag. I know Leo Queen. Anyways, he's married and has children in Turkey anyways. But he's not going to see his family for like 3 years. That's really sad. Oh well. What? He doesn't do his wife, so. No, not Tony. No, he said it was normal. He's allowed to sleep around when he's in I don't know. Yeah. Tara, his wife and kids are in another country. It doesn't count. No, I had sex 4 times with a married man today. And then as we were getting ready, he's like, again? And I went, no. And when I gotta go home. Who cares if he's married or not? Let's put a candle. Lambo, 4 times man's wife. Candle for her. You have so many men to sleep with. I know, but he's my favorite. I like him. He has a very sweet face. So there's 3 little black bastards running around northern Turkey right now. Fuck.
Tomato soup for lunch. Better react to it. Like, what's there to react to? Like, go react to the Holocaust or something.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I mean, do I need to keep going? Because we could do this all day. This is just what I had on hand in this moment. But go on. Tell us you've never done anything to deserve any hate.
I'm sorry, but it's true. People pick apart every little detail. Irrelevant, trivial details. If I play a video game I suck at the first time I play it as a first-timer amateur, which is normal, that somehow warrants a 5-hour live stream? Similarly with these documentaries, a 3-hour ordeal on me eating pasta and going on and off diets, and talking about my abuser, and low-key victim shaming.
You can spin it however you want, but going on and off diets is part of your cycle. It's something we criticize you for. But it is not the reason you're universally hated. But go ahead, Chantal. Throw in your relationship with Nader and paint yourself as a victim. We know that's not true, and so do you. Speaking of victim shaming...
Marley, when he abuses you, you're a victim. When he abuses Dee Dee, yeah, she does deserve it. I don't give a fuck about her. She's a fucking idiot. She's seen everything that fucking happened. Fuck her and fuck her. I don't give a shit. I honestly give a shit if she gets punched out. I don't care. I don't care if she gets fucking strangled. I don't care. I don't care about her at all. I don't give a fuck about her. She's ugly as fuck, and I don't care. Sorry, former abuser. This new series about to come out, again, this has this ridiculous cinematic trailer, and the first sentence from the intro song they so carefully chose for it starts with basically, "You are the reason your father wasn't there." Nice choice of song. Blaming a child for their father being a deadbeat absent parent, it's never the child's fault.
Am I crazy, or didn't she just recently say she had a great relationship with her dad and he watches her videos? Chantal, he's not going to like that you called him a deadbeat.
I can tell already by the stage that was set with this trailer, this will also be a load of crap series. But nonetheless, it's very lucrative because there's a lot of haters who will eat it up with a fork and spoon. Like I said, beating a dead horse.
Maybe you should find another euphemism. Beating a dead horse doesn't sound good coming from the mouth of an animal abuser.
We already heard my life story. We already blamed me for dropping the charges, which if you simply use Google, many women in narcissistic abusive situations do that.
But that's not what happened, and you know it. You used pressing charges as a weapon to get him back. Women in abusive domestic situations are scared to contact the police at all, out of fear for what their partner will do. Not to hold over their partner's head with promises of dropping those charges if they take them back.
It's the past. I don't live there anymore. You are reliving someone's trauma and someone's past for your own gain. It's weird and all too common.
You literally brought Nader up yesterday. For fuck's sake, Chantal, shut up.
Anything I have gone through is normal, because many have gone through similar things. Getting too drunk and saying things we don't mean. For example, Cuba rage gets rubbed in my face like I give a crap that I raged on my abuser after being subjected to a weekend of having my car keys and phone hidden and being pushed into situations I was not comfortable with.
Is that all you did? I don't know where I got this then.
I'm not allowed to say retarded. Ooh, sorry. Oh, sorry, that's a slur. Give me a break. I'm so tired of people being so fucking SJW. You can't even say anything anymore without people being fucking offended. I honestly, the R word, honestly, that pisses me off. I'm going to be honest. Because, honestly, I obviously don't have anything... It's so stupid. I obviously don't have anything against people with disabilities. It's so stupid. Retarded is also figurative. It means you're fucking stupid. It has nothing to do with people with disabilities. Actually, people with disabilities are not insulted by the word retard, okay? Retard means you're fucking stupid. Don't even associate with people with disabilities. People with disabilities don't even fucking go there. People with disabilities don't even associate with them with that fucking word, okay? Thank you.
Should I include all the rants about the guy that just wanted relish on his burger, or any of the other shit you spewed that entire weekend, or let me know?
The Uvalde incident. I didn't write pumped up kicks, by the way. I didn't attack kids. That is something that gets twisted. Again, this is a perfect example. I remember sobbing for them and mocking the gun culture of the US, because it's not a secret that the US has a problem with shooters. There's a shooting every other day. I was also very drunk, and maybe my delivery was in poor taste, but I would never mock deceased children. Again, another example of how things get twisted to make me look bad.
Who's twisting this? Bitch, you made yourself look bad?
I just want this. What are people saying now? That I'm an asshole? I'm a piece of shit? I'm a scum? Right? I'm disgusting. I'm a fucking piece of shit, right?
Wow. Yeah, I see so much sobbing happening.
Well, if people want to believe these things about me, I don't care. Recently, I was accused of giggling while telling a true crime story. Again, to make me look like a villain. Giggling because the perpetrator had a funny last name. Not because someone was victimized, you morons.
You weren't accused of it. You did it, dipshit.
My cat's nail situation. Again, I've explained a million times what happened. I don't care if you don't believe it or not, and I certainly don't care if I'm hated.
Please see timestamps 7:59 to 10:45 of this video for information regarding Chantal Olive Marie Serrol neglecting her animals. Please also see the vet notes provided by R4ge detailing every ailment found on BBJ. Moving on.
I get asked that a lot. Do you care you are so hated? No, of course not. I'm also very loved. And I'm grateful to have experienced everything in my life because I trust in God's plan for me. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, people like to throw the fact that as a 15-year-old, I faked an unaliving incident for attention. I was very mentally ill. I was admitted to inpatient even, and I had a lot of issues. Again, that was 25 years ago. So get out of my face with that. Some of you haven't even been alive that long.
Maybe because you laughed as you told this story like you were proud of it. Here's an idea, Chantal. If you don't want people talking about shitty things you did in your life, try not bragging about it on the internet for YouTube shekels.
Why are you all still ruminating and obsessing over my past when it's something I've moved on from? Certain incidents I have learned from and moved on. I grew up. As for the whole thing with Nattered, I don't talk about that at all anymore if you haven't noticed, for a reason. I've moved on. So should all of you.
You literally talked about him in the true crime stream, even as recently as November. This was you and your shitboy bringing him up to compare him to a camel.
Look at the teeth. You look like someone familiar.
How interesting. I personally don't want someone that allegedly abused me and traumatized me being brought up at all, not even to make fun of them. But I guess it's only okay when your husband does it. You'd think he'd be the one person not to do it, but what do I know?
That was a deeply traumatic time in my life, and the victim shaming and exploiting the situation over and over is gross. It's gross how people don't believe my story even though there's video evidence of him being an abuser on video. Oh, and doo-doo, you can keep your abusive, kitchen-burning, belly-dancing, cigarette money-leeching man baby.
Are you pretending it was an option? Like you're the one that ended things? Chantal, he didn't want you. He chose Dee Dee. And nobody believes you because you're a compulsive liar. Hope that helps.
But anyway, even if no one believes it, I don't care. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you make 1,000 crappy documentaries about the same subjects. Most of the information provided for the series was not given by me, someone who's actually lived these experiences, but rather from haters or people with a negative view on my life and personality.
Chantal, they literally use videos of you speaking and telling these stories. It's coming straight from the pig's mouth, babe.
People think they know me and my past more than I do myself, which is just absurd, for obvious reasons. These documentaries are therefore the least credible sources of information on me out there. Yes, sure, I have an eating disorder. I can't follow through with much and blah, blah, blah. We all heard this before, but I'm still here and I'm still trying and I'm not giving up. Most times you're wrong about me. Comes as no surprise though, seeing as you listen to critics, quote unquote, critics who are big jokes. They say I'm not married, for example, and you believe it without proof. Even after I've stated that it is not legal for us to live together here if not married. No one listens and stories are made up because I'm not living the reality you have created for me. It doesn't fit your narrative. You were wrong.
Your word is worthless, and there are other individuals in this community from the Middle East that have indicated you likely have what's called a misyar marriage, which is where a man does a shari marriage contract with a woman, meeting the conditions of marriage, but the woman gives up some of her rights such as accommodation, maintenance, or the husband staying overnight with her. And before you say this is just speculation, your husband's best friend and business partner confirmed this. Essentially, if Salah says the marriage is over, that's it. There is no divorce paperwork, it's just done.
Most of you still think it's only a matter of time before I return to the dumpster fire life, and some are sick and waiting for this. Some want me back with the abuser for entertainment. Can you imagine? Sounds like a study on yourself would be more interesting. I made some poor choices in life, but I learned from them and I move on. Some I'm still working on. It's my life, my journey. All this drama is for nothing. People just still feeding off my past for profit. Another thing people need to knock it off with is this accusing me of exploiting things that happened to me in my life. It's my life. I'm allowed to tell my story. The only one exploiting things at this point are reactors and these dumb documentary makers.
You're absolutely allowed to tell your story, but you can't get upset when people comment on it. Although I'm sure you'd find a way to make it happen, you unfortunately can't have your cake and eat it too. You chose to make a living by oversharing on the internet. You have to deal with the repercussions to that choice.
The past is the past. Move on. So I'm not allowed to talk about my experiences, but you are allowed to talk about my experiences? Yes, I struggle with problems still in life, but they don't keep me down because why should they? We were designed to overcome things God throws at us. Read the Quran. It will help you understand these concepts.
Bitch, you haven't even read the Quran.
People try so hard every day to bring me down, and it doesn't work, and it never will. Examine your heads and think of why you so desperately want someone to fail. It's a bizarre common ground in Gore World, and that's one of the reasons that community is a pile of dog crap. It exploits the same overweight women, while most of the Gore World people are obsessed, overweight, uneducated, uncultured weirdos. Anyway, I wanted to address that, so please don't ever come and ask me, have you seen the trailer for the new series on You? I don't care. I don't care if I get canceled again. I don't care if you don't like my content. I mean, here's another example of Gore World being ridiculous. Most of the reactors can't stand mukbangs, but watch every one I make in a 2-hour live stream. Weirdos, wallah.
That's because you're a freak show and we can't look away.
Anyway, I'm done giving my opinion on these matters, but to summarize, the outrage and exaggerated contrived drama for views is stupid and entertainment fit for those with low intelligence. And no, just because I give my opinion on something doesn't mean I'm affected or bothered by it. By that logic, the reactors who talk about every single thing I do and screech about it for 3 hours straight are super bothered then.
The woman who is totally unbothered took time to write a scathing script that took her 15 minutes to read and uploaded it to YouTube to show just how unbothered she is.
I just get asked a lot about my thoughts on all this criticism, quote unquote, not constructive, most of it, and these are my thoughts. Oh, and by the way, some advice is given out of caring and a good place. I'm not attacking you people. Anyway, I get told a lot my channel is tanking and I'm boring. I don't see it that way. I'm at a different phase in my life, and for me it's exciting. And even if I'm battling health issues and an eating disorder, I'm still grateful for all God has given me, and I don't place my self-worth in the words of Gore World or how much money I make.
She's about to go on a rant about how she's poor now. This should be good.
I saw one of these stupid documentaries talking about Boogie2988, another YouTuber, and while yes, he has done controversial, not so nice things, sometimes the whole documentary was keeping track of his net worth and how much money he had. He even says he's worthless at one point because he has no money. Money does not determine your worth as a person. The sad music documentary basically making a person seem worthless because they are broke. Maybe God made him broke to teach him that his net worth is not measured in dollars and cents. But that's for him to learn. I will never ever let money affect my emotions or gratitude for life. This is one big thing I've learned in life that has been so valuable to me. Wealth is not monetary to me at all. At one point when I was making, let's say, $20,000 a month, I still wasn't happy. I blew through it just like Boogie did. And I don't care about it even 1% now. How can I regret an experience I needed to happen to learn from it? To learn that value of that money, I had to lose it first. This is how I try to look at life in a positive manner. It's not possible to avoid making human error. The important thing is to realize they will happen and learn from them. If you keep making the same error, you haven't learned how to deal with the problem yet. It's okay, forgive yourself and be patient.
Y'all know Chantal doesn't even believe the shit she's saying right now, right? She sounds like she's reading those positivity memes on Pinterest while seething with rage.
Trust and turn to God. He's in control of your life when you can't be. Anyway, you can make 1,908 documentaries about me, as I've said, and my past, and the turd chef. I don't give a flying crap at all anymore, that I promise you. Again, same crap, different dramatic, cinematic intro, all to study a life I've shared openly myself anyway. I always expose myself because I'm not ashamed to be human. I'm not ashamed to admit my life has had many errors and is indeed a speckled axe, but it's also perfectly imperfect. And it is my own, and I can't complain. I have a loving family, a few good friends, a loving husband. Yes, there's been a scandal and it's not perfect, but we're giving it a chance, and there's so much good besides that, and it's been so good since that. And if it turns out to be the wrong decision, oh well, I'll move on like I always do. We have a car, a condo by the ocean, food, pets, travel experience, the freedom to do whatever we want, to travel, and most importantly, I have my faith. I feel rich in many ways, and none have to do with money. You can always make money. Money comes and goes. Anyways, thanks for listening. I will end with saying that I will not be watching any of these new series coming out about me or any reactions, which I never watch their videos directly anyway, so I have better things to do. Heck, even picking my nose and staring at the wall is more productive than watching someone discuss how I stir a pot for 3 hours or how I walk weird. Anyways, guys, see you in the next video. Bye!
That was a lot of words just to say she's going to watch every single second of that series and throw a fit about each new episode that comes out. In the words of Mr. Snowflake, stop panicking, Chantal. Anyway, that's about as much Chantal as I can handle for today. So I'll see you again real soon, little gherkins.
Pathetic. She's so fat, she's so gross, she will never find love. Pathetic. The only one who can love this woman is the good Lord up above.